And we live. We are live. We are in here.
On. What's going on, beautiful people? I literally just dropped something, but we ain't gonna worry about that.
Yeah, because we in here. This is the Over 30 Podcast, episode 20. Yes.
Wow, 20 episodes
20
already?
episodes. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah. We've been getting it in.
we have.
Thank y'all for joining us.
We've
We'll
been
give it a
having,
second.
we've been talking about some pretty amazing stuff.
Yeah, I've been learning a lot.
Yeah, wow.
Especially these last, 8, 9 episodes.
Yeah.
Really been putting a nigga on game. So I definitely appreciate that. But as y'all come in, make sure y'all say what's up. Y'all go ahead, leave comments, hit that like button, hit the share button if we are on YouTube and on Facebook. So if you're over there on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe. If you're on Facebook, make sure you hit that follow, and then flip and do it. Go to the Facebook and follow, and then go to the YouTube and subscribe. So
Absolutely.
tonight is an interesting conversation
They're very
because
interesting.
tonight we talking about manifestations.
Yes, yes, yes. I
Mm.
am the amazing, the infinite, the powerful. You know, I have so many hats, so many different names, but I am the holistic expert. I am Tisha Marie. That's Tisha Marie on Facebook, Infinite Omniscient on Instagram, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this is Over 30 Podcast. We literally about to dig into how to manifest. How to transform and transmute your mind and how to rapidly manifest your desires, your soul urges, and how to dig deep into what you really, really want and actually make it conspicuous. Bring those things out. Let's do it. Let's manifest that in their physical. So we're gonna dig into that, and also, what else we talking about, co-host? What else we talking about?
We talking about full moons.
Hey,
We talking about full moons. Yeah, like you go. The Over 30 holistic expert Tisha Marie will be breaking down the impact, the purpose, the cause of full moons. And is it a connection between these two things?
it's
Is
definitely a connection.
setting your
Actually,
manifest.
yeah, go ahead, go ahead. Look at
Well, no,
you.
that's my question. Is setting your manifestations, is it linked to a full moon?
It's and most definitely linked to a full moon, and we're gonna get into that because it's such a profound comparison tonight on the actual full moon and actually manifesting on a full moon. So I think that it's very imperative that we do so. But tonight is a little different full moon, so we're gonna speak on that. I'm sorry, new moon.
New
Forgive
moon.
me. New moon. Tonight's a little different new moon, and it actually gives you full moon vibes. And we're gonna talk about why and why is it different. I'll talk about that as well.
All right, all right. Now, we could go ahead and get into it. Uh, you want to start out with the manifestations? You want to go ahead and get into
Uh,
breaking down that information?
Absolutely. I definitely want to dig into the manifestations and how to do so. So we're gonna get into it. First, I want to talk to you guys about manifestation and like what it means to manifest. Like a lot of people hear the word, but do you know how to do it and how to come about it and actually the definitive purpose of why it works and why everyone is using this word? Why is it such a profound word and why is it such a word that is used so much these days? So more importantly,
I think it's used wrongly too in a lot of ways.
you
Just to
said
be
what?
fair, because like you hear it in people's Facebook statuses and on
Hmm.
Instagram posts manifesting. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
when people use shit like that, it come off like you know what I'm saying, niggas just be saying shit just to say shit.
It
So it is always
definitely is.
refreshing to hear the
Yes.
actual science behind it.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those excessively used terms that is actually abused and pretty much confusing when it's used so much because people use it as more of a popular term and just kind of trending, so to
Right.
speak. So
It's some cool shit to say. It's
yeah,
some
some
cool shit
cool
to say.
shit to say. So I'm gonna tell you how cool it actually is to actually utilize it in a proper way. So Basically a manifestation, if you ever heard of the universal law. So in this universe, in this massive, grand astrological universe we're in, we have laws that we have to abide by according to the sky. I mean, you got to talk about the planets, you got to talk about the alignments, you got to talk about the conjunctions, you got to talk about the retrogrades. All of these things emits energy and laws that we have to abide by. You have like a planet like Saturn, it makes you disciplined, it disciplines you, it limits you, it structures you, it sets off destruction just so it can challenge you enough for you to change. It evokes a change. You have the planet like Mercury, communication. It gives you communication, good or bad. It emits energy of communication. You got the planet like Venus, it emits energy for love, arts, emotional love, connections with partners. That's how you connect with your partner. So all in
Mm-hmm.
the universe, we have laws. So we also have this thing called the law of attraction. I'm sure people are familiar with that as just as well as you hear about manifestation. You probably
Yeah,
heard about
everybody didn't heard of The Secret.
law.
Everybody didn't seen that
Yes, there
shit.
you go. It is a cool documentary. I am not. I've graduated from The Secret so much. I feel like The Secret is just basically a good starting point on if you want to learn about manifestation. It doesn't
Yeah,
give you, it's so vague to me now. But when
it
I first
is.
started out, that was definitely something to really watch. So check out that documentary. I think it's on Netflix. It's called The Secret.
It's definitely on Netflix.
It's very powerful if you're just
Yeah.
starting out and want to learn about the universal laws and also law of attraction. But anyway, manifestation is based off a universal law of attraction. It's all about transmuting your thoughts into positive thoughts and accentuating on your mindset, your desire, and your urges. So all your dreams, all your things that you want and you desire internally, you can actually manifest it in its physical by actually abiding by the law of attraction. And that's basically creating positive thoughts or affirmations in your mind to manifest everything in your physical. And I'm going to teach you how. So basically, what we're going to do is we're going to focus on what you do is you focus on a thought. Everybody know energy flows where attention goes. So anything that you think of can actually manifest in this physical. Actually, they say your thoughts are so profound, the actual frequency, your thoughts is aligned with a certain frequency, and there's five
Mm-hmm.
different brainwave frequencies. So when you think about the frequencies, your thought is actually aligning with a certain frequency depending on the thought process that you usually, if you actually hook your brain up to a machine that detects frequency, it actually can tell you the frequency your thought pattern is on, whether it's beta, whether it's alpha, whether it's delta. It actually has a frequency. And guess what? The universe vibrates on a certain frequency. So once you align your thoughts with a certain frequency, you can manifest it into anything, into its physical. And once you consistently do it on a certain frequency, everything that you desire can be manifested. I'm talking about just something so minuscule as a parking spot and something so grand.
And that's what
And
people use the most. That's what, like, cause to be for real, I'm gonna tell on her ass too. My wife, that's what she used the most. She always just like, oh no, I never have problems finding parking spots. I'm like,
yes,
shut up, like,
yes,
you know
yes,
what I mean? Like, cause I'm the type of nigga like, hey, I'm not gonna pull up over there because it's probably not a parking spot. Well, if you say it's not, if you say it's not gonna be a parking spot, it's
guess
not.
what? It's
I'm
not.
like, yeah,
Yeah, a great quote by Henry Ford is whether you think you can or you think you can't, either way, you are right. So basically, what the law of attraction tells us is basically what you do, what you think, speak, and feel will manifest in this physical. That's
okay,
think, speak, and feel. So watch out the way you think, be vigilant of your thoughts, transmute those thoughts to positive thoughts. Speaking of things, I'm talking about speaking of things because I feel like once you consciously do it, and you consciously or subconsciously do it, then it's going to be manifest. So
mm,
oftentimes, us as people, we subconsciously do things or unconsciously do things that manifest in this physical because our thought process and how we trained our mind. um to think. So once we think in a certain way, we're creating that pattern in our minds, and those things, those negative situations, constantly attract itself. Well, I mean, we can attract death. We can attract car accidents. We can attract fear. Anything you fear will actually come to you instead of going away from you. We can attract terrible situations in your relationships. You can attract
Mm-hmm.
quarrels. You can attract fights. You can attract getting fired. You can attract all these situations, and it will manifest in certain ways. The way you think, how you think. So that is the power of manifestation. Manifest something positive, or you can manifest something negatively based off the way you think. And that is
So
ultimate. Go ahead.
no, finish that last part. I want that last part.
I was just saying it's ultimately based off the universal law of attraction.
Right, like being on, you got to vibrate with the universe, right? Like so
Vibrate, yeah,
when when people talk about going with the flow, you feel me? The flow ain't necessarily just doing whatever, but it's it's adapting. You know what I'm saying? Your rhythm to that rhythm. You know what I mean? Like so
absolutely,
that's a very interesting concept. Now, what I
absolutely.
do want to point out, which and this is just to make sure that this perspective gets out there, that it gets heard, whatever.
Mhm,
um there is the skepticism, right,
mhm,
associated with, like, let's say for example,
mhm,
someone who would say, well, there are times where people think positive
mhm.
and get negative outcomes even though they were thinking positive, right?
So you got to understand this, people. This is something that I want to say. You have to understand, just like your body has muscle memory, your mind also has muscle memory. Your subconscious mind, your superconscious mind, and your unconscious mind has a memory. It has dialects that will replay in your mind over and over and over again. Because guess what? A thought evokes and provokes a feeling. Once you have that thought, you have that feeling. Everything is first unconsciously or consciously thought of before you have a feeling. So just know that when you have that thought, you have that feeling. And that feeling and that thought connected attracts and manifests that situation. So, excuse me, I'm sorry. People have to understand how things work. You cannot just one moment think of something positive and expect something positive to happen. Now, if you constantly think negative on a regular, and that one moment you think positive, a shift can happen, but you have to really shape your mind to think positive on a consistent basis to actually see a pattern of positive situations happening. Because the moment that your mind and your body and your feelings actually connected to a negative thinking pattern, is gonna show itself in your life and even create rheumatism in your body, because your body is gonna, it can manifest sickness and cancer and weakness of your organs and your bones and your mind also. It can negative situations don't have to be manifested in certain things like car accidents or bad, something bad happening at work. It can manifest in you buying bad foods. It can manifest in you dealing with situations pertaining parents, or your love life can be affected, or even the sickness in your body. That's how it can manifest if you think, have a negative thought process.
So I mean, but that does create some difficulty though, right? Because it's
It
like,
does.
on one hand it's like, you know, because the negativity that we feel, you would have to say it comes from like things that we experience, like, right, like
Hmm.
external forces end up having this weight on us.
Hmm.
um I mean, it could be by fault of our own, maybe not, you know what I mean, but whatever, shit happened, right?
Uh-huh.
So you get into a place where you slip into, like, I'm typically a positive person. I move like that, but shit
Hmm.
happens, and now I'm rocking off this fucked up energy.
Hmm.
Moving from that, then how do you get back, and like, still as you working through, the same energy that's kind of keeping you in the fucked up spot?
Hmm.
How do you keep with this mindset, keep that positivity, as you try to get back to that point where, all right, now I'm fully
I'm
there.
in a better place. Think
Yeah.
about so think about you actually creating that atmosphere that you are in, that negative situation that you're in. Think about how you created that subconsciously. You basically created a situation. No matter what situation that you're in, you created it in your mind first. So, in order to disassociate yourself with that situation, you would have to create a better situation in your mind and have a feeling evoked in there. So, they say in order to get out of the dark, you have to first see in the dark.
Mm.
That is such a profound statement. It's not necessarily you trying to get out of the dark. It's basically you're able to see inside the dark, and being able to see inside the dark, you're basically transmuting your mind in the midst of that tornado to positive things to get yourself in a positive situation. So how you do that is for me personally, I've been in several negative situations where I had to basically transmute my mind in that process. So what I do is I wake up, and what we do, we have this thing called homeostasis as humans, and homeostasis is basically a rush of negative thoughts. Or negative and old situations that come to us, even when we were living in a positive atmosphere, we just have these old negative feelings come about just out of nowhere,
And
and we just
it's funny that you say that because it's moments, and I don't know if this happened to anybody else, right? But it's moments where I'll think about some shit from like 6, 7 years ago.
mhm.
Small shit. Small shit. It was a scenario that the other people involved probably don't ever fucking think about it. But I just felt so fucking awkward when it happened that today, whatever could happen, and I could think about that moment and be like, oh, I was such a fucking, I can't believe I said that shit. Like
Yes,
seven,
yes,
like 7, 8 years ago. That should
yes,
be fucking me up. That shit
yeah.
gets to me.
It does. It
I'm a
happens
positive
often.
nigga, but that shit gets to me because I'll be
Yeah,
like, yo, like I was so stupid.
and
But
that
yeah,
happens often, and especially when your mind literally tries to find something bad in the positive atmosphere. It tries
and
to
it's
find
not
something bad.
hard. Boy. It is not hard.
That's the old dialects of your mind telling you that you need to be, it's bringing you down. It's something that's telling you that you need to be negative, something that's telling you you shouldn't think, it's something that's telling you to fear what's to come. And that's
Mm.
basically your mind challenging the new you, and the old you challenging the new you. That's basically what it is. And what you have to do is utilize your mind, because you're a powerful being. And what you have to do is utilize your mind and replace those negative thoughts with positive thoughts. And what I do is I wake up immediately upon waking up, and I give myself affirmations. I'm talking about as soon as, because I know those thoughts can come and conquer me as soon as I wake up. So as soon
Mm.
as I wake up, because when I'm unconscious and I'm asleep, you don't think. You're not thinking. When you have your REM sleep, where you're unconscious and you sleep, you're really not thinking about negative stuff.
Unless you're having a fucked up dream, you're in a fucked
Unless
up
you're
dream.
having a mess. And even with that, you wake up and you give yourself positive affirmations immediately. And
Shit,
to evoke ability,
I'm definitely the type of nigga where I wake up from bad dreams, mad in real life. Like
yeah, it
what?
can
I wake
very
up and I
well
have a
go.
dream my wife cheated on me on some stupid shit like that, like some completely unrealistic shit, and I'm just staring at her all morning, like, yeah, crooked ass, I can't stand your ass. And
It
she
can
like,
very
what?
well
I ain't even
go.
do nothing. I'm like, yeah, dude, it wasn't you, but it was you. God
It
damn it.
was you.
It
It
wasn't you, but
wasn't
it
you,
was
but
you.
you. It was you.
But
Yes, exactly.
that's something that I would have to get better at, like
Yeah.
waking up and having affirmations, and kind of
Immediately.
speaking positively, yeah, because
Immediately.
that shit be there. What
And
I
I
sit in that.
have for me, I have notes all over my room and office that reminds me to think positive. Like I have really great affirmations all over my wall. Immediately upon waking up, I see these things, and I repeat them. I regurgitate these things, and I say, "This is how my day is going to go." Because you have the choice to manifest the day that you want. You have the choice. And like I said, attention, everywhere you put your attention, that's where your energy goes. And the
Mm,
energy that you deal, or the energy that you emit, is energy that comes back to you. It's like a boomerang. Energy is just like a boomerang. It can never be created or destroyed. It just can get projected from one item to the next. So basically, energy is just a force, and it's an invisible force. It's as playing. You just tug of war, and it's just playing a game with you, and it's just basically creating these characters that you created in your mind, and it's
Yeah.
showing up. And I say characters as far as in forms of anything. It can be anything, and it's just
Yeah.
basically you creating these things. So basically, you can basically counteract these things with certain techniques and methods. There are techniques and methods as far as manifestations that I have that's really cool that would help.
I need the
And
potent shit though. Like I
I,
need
I,
to, you know what I mean?
I
Like I
got it.
need to be able to cut because I got a lot of awkward situations that happened in my
Hmm.
past
Hmm.
to where it was like now that a nigga older and shit, it's just like,
Hmm.
oh man.
Yeah.
It should I be telling my wife like, yeah, this shit happened to me. There's other shit that I just can't tell her because I was like, I don't want you to look at me different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, and that should just be popping up. So I definitely I need the potent shit.
Yeah. So I think a really great way to manifesting is doing a vision board. Vision boards for me are amazing. Basically, a vision board is basically anything that you visualize, you put it in the form of pictures or words on a board, a cardboard board or anything. I usually do a year ahead. So, how I want my year ahead to look. Some people do their overall life, how they want their overall life to look from that point that they making it on. I usually do like the year ahead, how I want the year. I do short term goals. So I put a in picture form how I want my year to look and how I want what things that I want to manifest. And manifestation is visual, so because everything is subconscious, everything is subconscious. So basically, you're creating things in your subconscious mind that's pushing things to your conscious mind and actually manifesting through its physical. So it's going through a process of manifestation. So vision boards are
Okay.
really good because you visualize is a visualization of things that you want to come to pass. And I put pictures of houses or a picture of a car that I want. I will put a picture of the guy that I want to date. I will put a picture of the job that I want, the dream job that I want. I put a picture of how I want my body to look. All these things is me manifesting. And vision boards are very, very, very
Putting
energetically.
that toxic nigga up on that vision board to have you fucking with a toxic. Y'all
Right,
be
right.
manifesting a lot of these toxic niggas.
They do. They
Y'all
yes.
because y'all be placing claim on them. Same thing with
Everything
these
in your
sisters.
life is what is internally
Yeah,
you're dealing with internally or you thinking about internally. Everything. I'm telling
yeah,
you, that's how profound manifestation is you look around your life and you can tell the reflection of your life in its physical is a reflection of your thought process. So if you have a
yeah,
good life, you have a good thought process. If you know how to manifest things very rapidly, you have a great thought process. But if your life is not reflecting how you want it to be, then maybe you should transmute your mind and try these methods. The next method of manifestation is an intentional journal. Intention journal is basically writing your intentions, setting your intentions, and writing them out. See, I generalize things. I have actually a manifestation journal. And what I do in this journal is I write to my future self in this journal. I don't write to my present self. I said, I am so happy and grateful. And that's one of the things that I got from the law of attraction. I am so happy and grateful now that I have, and I put all the things that my future self will have because in the universe, nothing, no time is not time is illusion. So nothing is by time. So you basically is psyching the universe out to think that everything that you thinking about for the future is right now. So you
mm,
say, I am so happy and grateful now that I have X, Y, and Z, everything that you want. You just put it, say that you have it now. Because you're not thinking about the future, you're not thinking about the past, you're thinking about right now. So you put that intention in a journal and you set your intentions on everything that you want and you say that you have it now. Like I always say when I talk to my clients that when they say, I can't wait to get this job, I say, no, you already have that job. Don't think about what you don't have or don't say it in the form of what you don't have. You already have that job. Say, I am so happy that I have that job now.
and you know this is some biblical shit too, right? Because this is what the church folk call claiming it. You gotta was it
There we
God got
go.
a blessing
That's
with your
definitely
name on it.
yes,
You
yes.
know what
That
I'm
is
saying? You
exactly
know
what
that
it is.
God
That is
got a
that.
blessing with your name on it. That means
Mm-hmm.
it's already yours. But
Yes.
it's funny how if if you kind of pay attention to a lot of these strategies, the methods really that are deployed are people get to them different ways. That's the funny shit
Mm-hmm.
about it. Like
Mm-hmm.
what you just said speaks to like kind of like that. I don't want to say religious, but just more so that idea that something is
Everything.
already
Yeah.
prepared for you,
Yeah.
right? And it's like it's a like even outside of the biblical text, anything else, it's a concept
Mm-hmm. It absolutely is.
that's attached to it. Like the power of life and death is in the tongue, right? The things
Absolutely.
that we speak,
Absolutely.
right? And
Yeah.
what's crazy is that with that being with it having that type of connection, it makes it that much more interesting because
Mhm.
one, you don't have to be a religious person to believe that concept, but then
Absolutely.
you got to work
Absolutely.
backwards and ask yourself, well, damn, like what makes that concept something that exists even within like that type of spiritual connotation.
Absolutely.
uh that's what
Absolutely.
and that's what gives it that value, right? That's what
Yeah,
gives it that
and like you gotta think of like faith. It says the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So
mm-hmm.
that's all the things that you talk about and you hope for, you already have it. It's already there. So like I said, the way the universe works, the way energy works, everything, if you think about energy, think about everything that you desire is already energetically and or physically there. You just have to align yourself in your mind to that thing. So everything that you want is already there. You just have to
Okay.
align yourself to it. And once you align yourself on that frequency to that, whatever it is that you desire, to that desire, it will attract itself. The universe will conspire to that thing will gravitate your way. And that is how you rapidly do it. Another way, another cool way is to show gratitude or to have a gratitude journal. I literally, when I first started out trying to transmute my life and my mindset to manifestations, literally had a gratitude journal. And in my gratitude journal is everything that I'm thankful for what I have now. I'm talking about the craziest stuff I think I was thankful for. I mean, talking about not as far as like health and me being alive and my child. I'm talking about I'm thankful for stepping out of bed. I'm thankful for the butterfly that flew by me. I am thankful for the food. I'm thankful for being able to uh, purchase food, being able to purchase gas. I'm thankful. One time my refrigerator went out on me, and I was so thankful because I said, man, that could have been my vehicle. But instead, it was my refrigerator that cost $150 to get fixed. It could
Yeah,
have been
but don't you
something
got all that
crazy.
you got all that green shit. You got what is it? Them different herbs and that shit can't
Yes.
spoil, girl. You can't have
Yeah.
that. You can't have that
I
sitting in room temperature, girl.
know.
That shit can't
That's yeah,
spoil.
yeah, that's bad. It was
End up
bad. It
fucking it up.
actually did spoil. But you know what? I was like, man, that could have been my engine instead of my
Right,
refrigerator, you know?
right, right,
So I
right.
was thankful. I was like, thank you. It took me $150 to get my refrigerator fixed as opposed to $3,000 to get my engine fixed. So I was thankful.
You know what? It was a lot of criticism around that movie Soul that came out.
Oh yeah,
The
I haven't
Disney
seen
Pixar
it.
movie. There's a lot of
Hmm.
criticism around that. I ain't gonna spoil the movie for you, but I think that a part of it that was missed on a lot of folk. I mean, yeah, we do got they do need to do a better job of like how they treat black people in cartoons, specifically when it's a black lead in
Hmm.
a cartoon. But at the same time, I think the ultimate message of the movie was one that I felt was valid, and it's kind of what you're speaking to right now, and it's more so that it's a lot of little things that make up what make life what it is and what make life
Hmm.
worth it. And when we try to conceptualize why our lives are important only in an understanding of like these big moments,
Hmm.
you feel me? Like then we lose track of like what made those moments possible. Right? Like everything is a
Mm,
culmination into something
yeah.
else. And so
Yeah.
What that movie was speaking to was like, yo, you don't have to live like, you know, a life of a rock star or, you know what I mean, or a politician or whatever to have a fulfilling, loving life because shit, that shit means, you know what I mean, it's different for people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so to me, I do think it's those smaller questions of
Mm-hmm.
um, you know, what I'm thankful for
Mm-hmm.
actually end up having a lot more weight. But you know
Mm-hmm.
what? You got to be able to come from the bottom to appreciate that shit. Like we come from
Mm-hmm.
the
You
same
definitely,
neighborhood,
yeah.
god damn it. So like
Absolutely.
you live in
Absolutely.
I mean you live in the burbs, you done moved
Mm-hmm.
out, you know what I'm saying? You done moved out of the city. I don't live in Kansas City, but I mean I also don't live in the it's weird. It's hard to explain. Like living in California, so many it's weird out here because the shit is so diverse. It's all type of shit. So
Mm-hmm.
I really can't describe
How
where I'm living
you,
right
I
now.
definitely
Like,
get it.
cause on one hand, you don't want to turn down the wrong street, but on the other
Mm-hmm.
hand, like I just seen like a white dude jogging with like small ass shorts and no shirt. I mean, so it's like he's
Right, right,
comfortable. Like
right.
this is a
Yeah.
comfortability. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But you know, ultimately, it's people who've like seen shit fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Have a better eye in appreciating just like the damn like
Absolutely.
not like knowing people who like our age, like where we from, like the block we from. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Um, that they didn't even wasn't able to see it to the age that we at right now.
Absolutely.
I think what
That
fucked me
is
up the most was like Pac died at 25. Tupac,
that is
like
crazy.
the nigga that like if you don't have Tupac in like your top five or like on like God tier level status, you don't know what the fuck you talking about.
Absolutely.
That nigga he
Absolutely.
died at 25. Yeah, I mean, I think
25.
Dr.
Such
King
a
died at
young
a young
age.
age. Malcolm X died at a young age. I mean,
Absolutely.
and then we approach these ages, and it's like
We take it
this
for
is
granted
crazy.
sometimes. It's just it's something that's like second nature. We don't think about how amazing it is to get to that age. And that's why showing gratitude and showing to be grateful what you already have or what you're already at in life is the greatest and most grand way to actually manifest something very rapidly because you're actually grateful for what you already have and it will attract more. It will attract abundance. Um, and I, for one, I think that your life should be abundant. Your cup should flow with over. Your barn should be full. So for me, um, those small things is what gets me to the larger things. You know, I always say the little boat that gets me to the bigger boat. That is
Mhm.
something that's so amazing. So showing gratitude and having a gratitude journal, and actually, even if you write a journal, write on a piece of paper of all the things you're grateful for and read it every day, that would attract more things. It also would transmute your mind into thinking positive because you can't do no wrong being grateful for small things or being grateful for your
Yeah,
life. Or
yeah,
even if you're in a hotel room right now, even if you're living in your car, say, I am thankful that I am living. I'm thankful that I'm living in my car. I am
yeah.
thankful for the car.
Existence is a
I am
motherfucking
thankful. Yes, I am thankful because
yeah,
the very reason why you're in that situation and you're still living on this earth is because you have a greater purpose beyond where you're at now. And to be thankful for the place you're at now will uh, be a catalyst for where you're going and the
yeah,
purpose that you
yeah.
are supposed
Because
to
you can't
serve
use it
on this
right.
earth.
You can't you
Absolutely.
can't you can't use what you're supposed to be doing right now, right? If you ain't if there's like no connection to the greater shit. So
Hmm.
that's
Hmm.
definitely something that people need to remember and be able to attach themselves to.
Hmm.
But I do want to make sure that 'cause, you know, we halfway through the show. I want to make sure we're able to get to the sciences. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
when I talk about the sciences, we talking about the new moon. You feel me? We supposed to be getting a
Mm.
new one.
Yes,
Uh
yes, yes.
and when we talk about manifestations, this new moon allegedly, I say allegedly because I'm about to learn something with y'all. The new moon is allegedly has something to do with manifestations and
Hmm.
conjunctions and
Hmm.
all other type of what they call
Powerful things.
otherworldly shit. And
Yes,
what I mean by
yes, yes.
otherworldly, I mean like outside of Earth type shit. So
Hmm.
let's talk
Hmm.
about this new moon. Um, what's the move with that? Like, explain what the new moon is first off for people who don't know. Me.
So people that don't know, today is a new moon Capricorn, and basically, we go through moon cycles. We go through full moons and new moon cycles, where the moon basically is not actual a different moon. It's just basically the moon go through cycles, just like the planet go through cycles, and it creates a new moon and new structure and emit new energy, and tonight, midnight, we're supposed to have a new moon. And new moon is in Capricorn because we are in Capricorn season. And it's also in conjunction with Pluto. So if you watched any of our podcasts, we talked about conjunctions. And basically, we when we talk about a conjunction, a moon conjunction, we're talking about uh, two planets that's basically in close proximity to each other. And when they're in close proximity to each other, they emit so profound energy. So today we have Moon Pluto conjunctions in Capricorn. So we have the zodiac sign Capricorn. It is basically such a profound sign because Capricorn is ruled by the planet Saturn. So right now we're feeling very disciplined, very limited on what we can and can't do. We have a lot of stuff going on in the world. I mean, you've seen what's
COVID.
going on in COVID. You've seen what's going on at the Capitol. A lot of
Yeah,
anger, a lot of
that shit's
aggression. You're
wild.
talking about Saturn and Pluto. You got a lot of aggression. You got a lot of anger. You got a lot of people basically detoxing yourself and everything that you were supposed to do or supposed to say or triggers like Donald Trump, for instance. He's very triggered. It's that Pluto energy, it's that Capricorn, that Saturn energy. It's all taking place, and then we just left out of another crazy. Mars was in uh the planet Aries, so we definitely had a lot of anger going on, a lot of anger, a lot of aggression, a lot of things that was profoundly happening, and just basically to shake us up. So we have that Capricorn, like I said, is a discipline, is structure, is limitation, is ambition, and shows us who we are. And it helps us examine the things that we want to do in our lives, the work ethic
So you
that we
saying
have.
so with Capricorn we got a lot of self reflexivity going. So if
Yes,
you if you
yes,
if you
yes.
feeling that you know what I'm saying, what they call that existential dread,
Hmm.
you feel me? When you just like
Hmm.
life is just like what the fuck?
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? What
yeah,
you
yeah,
getting out of that?
yeah,
That may be the reason why. I mean,
yeah.
if you
Pluto,
sitting up there asking yourself, telling yourself you procrastinating,
uh,
you know what I mean? Like,
is gonna
damn,
put you
like
on that.
I
It's
just
gonna put
need
you
to
on
go
that
ahead and do it.
trajectory. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
yeah.
yeah. So that's where that's at. Go ahead.
So this moon is basically they look at this as a new moon, a full moon, because this moon is more of a moon that causes discomfort, and it's not something that is worthy of manifestation, but it's more worthy of protection, because this thing is going to shake up some relationships. It's going to cause some separations. It's going to cause people to be triggered. It's going to cause people to be on the edge. It's going to cause people to, you know, people to come from all kinds of different ways, or be very quarrelsome, be very combative. Um, and it's going to cause everything inside of you that you've been
Mm.
really, really fighting to deal with, as far as like work ethics, as far as like career wise, as far as like wanting to advance in any type of thing. It's going to cause it to come to the forefront. It's going to cause all of that to come to the forefront and make you face those things. And that's what this energy of this moon is doing. It's making you face those things, because Pluto, you got to understand, Pluto is a planet of regeneration. It's death and rebirth. So it's basically killing off old things and rebirthing the new things. And for you to kill off those old things, it got to bring them to your attention, and it's definitely going to do it. So if you're in a bad relationship, it's definitely going to test that relationship. If you're at a bad workplace, it's definitely going to test that. If you have some bad habits or morals and values that you've been sticking to, practices that you've been sticking to, it's going to bring it to the forefront and show you the change that you need to make and make you do it. You have no choice with this moon energy to not
Mm.
make those necessary changes, because Capricorn is going to structure you and keep you on tunnel vision and keep you on a trajectory. And Pluto is definitely going to be causing some destruction. And that moon energy is definitely going to emit everything that you need to bring you to the forefront. So that's why I say protection, ask for protection, or actually do protection rituals as opposed to manifestations, because since it's such a aggressive energy, you should ask for protection of you. Like I said, I read things on the internet about what's to come. Like people were saying, black people need to carry weapons on them.
Shit, black people been need to be strapped. Why are
Yes,
we?
yes,
It's
I
like
agree.
we
Yeah,
acting like, oh, they
yeah,
tripping now. No, they been tripping. Like,
yeah.
yeah, that's for another podcast. I do
Yes,
that on
it
another
definitely is.
podcast.
But in short, we definitely in this time and this energy, with this energy, and everyone being irate, everyone and the things are being so tumultuous in the capital or with the government. We definitely need to be understanding of the energy that's emitting on us and projecting on us, because, or emitting, that we're emitting and that's projecting on us, because now is the opportune time for us to actually get those protection rituals, utilize our protection rituals, and to understand the triggers, because there will be triggers that's happening at all levels, and then ask for protection on all things. Like, we're definitely needing protection rituals as opposed to your manifestations at this moment. Now there will be
So
times,
we need to take it a little step, like a little bit deeper. Like, you
yeah,
can
go a little
manifest,
deeper.
yeah, but the universe
You
moving
can
in a
always
particular way.
manifest. Yeah, the
Yeah.
universe is calling for protection. So you definitely have to really, really call for protection, protection over your children. And there's a lot of great ways to use protection rituals, but you have a lot of sources too on the internet. Look up some cool
We're gonna
protection
have to do a show
rituals.
about that. We're gonna do
Yeah,
because I
we
don't know
definitely
shit about
should.
no
Yeah, yeah,
so
we
I'm
definitely
gonna
should.
need to learn myself.
Yeah.
Now Now, it's so when you talk about like the vibrations, right?
Hmm.
What is the best way to kind of utilize, like to utilize that, like that energy, like to kind of move like that? Because it's like, all right, so right now, usually when you're dealing with the universal shit, we tend to think of it
Hmm.
in terms of like I was about to say metrograde, Mercury and retrograde type shit. So it's
Hmm.
like, the universe is fucking us up.
Mm.
But it sounds like the what we got going on now was like the flip side of that, and
Mhm.
the universe is actually pushing more productive, forceful
Mhm.
energy out there,
Absolutely.
right? More productive, forceful vibrations to where like nigga, like I say vibrations of productivity. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? Get your
Mhm.
ass up, do something. Like this
Absolutely.
like for real, the universe telling
Mhm.
you that type shit.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Um, how do you how do you utilize that, right? Because I think in a lot of ways it you would think that energy would come on like anxiety. So how do you work
Mhm.
through the anxiety to be able to be like, all right, I'm about to make the best out of this?
Right.
Like,
Right.
how do I turn my anxiety into uh well, like, let me use like this, like flipping this energy
Right.
into, like, let me turn this into something.
That's a great question. That actually takes me back to manifestation, the tools that we use to manifest and the affirmations that we're giving ourselves and transmuting your mind. Like I said, the energy that is projecting on us is just basically making us release the things that we supposed to release to actually rebirth and evolve and expand the things that we need to in the areas that we need to expand in. So, the universe never, ever, ever is doing things that's not conducive to your growth. All the energy everything that happens in the universe is conducive to your growth in some way, subjectively. Not everyone else, not everyone on this earth, not every one person will interpret the energy the same.
Mhm.
Everyone has their subjective way they need to grow, and that this
Okay.
energy
So it's
is
not gonna be
going.
beneficial for everybody.
No, it is going to be beneficial to everybody, but it's going to be subjective in how it's going to be
How
beneficial
you
to you.
experience it. Like,
Yes.
so if you somebody who really like that pushy shit anyway, like me,
Hmm.
I don't like a pushy motherfucker. Like, let me at least let me at least feel like I'm making a decision for myself. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Um, but you know, wives, they do not believe in that shit at all. At
Mm.
least my wife don't. I love her, but shit, she like, nah, I'm making this decision.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
but it's as if you somebody who, so you saying that if you somebody who um don't really vibe with that type of energy in terms of being motivated by it. Like you can
Mm-hmm.
benefit, you can benefit from it,
Mm-hmm.
but you're saying that not everyone is motivated the same way by that type of
Absolutely.
energy.
Yes,
Got
this
you.
energy would definitely and some people that is not high in consciousness and spirituality will actually it affect them the worst because that is where it's pushing you to be more conscious and aware of the things that you're not aware of. So it's going to bring out all your feelings, emotions, all your triggers, all the things in the forefront to make you pay attention to these things to change because everything is going to be conducive to your growth in the universe. So what Pluto is doing is saying, I'm going to show you you so you can change you.
Got
That's what
you.
it is. And it's going to do, like I said, it's going to look different to everyone. It's going to look different to each individual person because everybody has a different, everybody has a different desire. Everybody has
They
a different,
vibe, yeah.
yeah.
Like everybody ain't got the same vibe like that.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
especially if you have a lot of Pluto in your natal chart, it's definitely going to affect you a lot. It's definitely going to affect you a lot because, like I said, Pluto is in conjunction with Capricorn right now. So we really have, or I'm sorry, with the moon in Capricorn. So we really have to pay attention to how aggressive this energy is about to be these next few days. And then we go rolling up on Mercury retrograde. So it's going to be a lot of stuff going on in January. We got the inauguration on January the 20th going on. So it's about
You
to
know,
be
FBI
crazy.
talking about they
Um,
talking about they supposed to be running up on some things.
yeah, yeah, and Trump. Not only that, he's throwing these subliminal messages out. He's definitely speaking subliminally about some stuff. I can see it. I can read between the things, and he's angry. He's mad, and I
Yeah, he
heard
lost.
something. I heard something about a website internet for the elite that they're on. It's like a hidden internet platform that the elite can get on and send messages to their followers about what they need to do. It's like a whole cult that Trump have, and he's like literally, forewarning them like if some like on January 20th, let some shit go down. He even said he's not even going to be at the inauguration, so that lets you know it may not be a good day on January 20th, just because, like I said, the Pluto, we got a lot of planets, we got a lot of aggression. We're in Saturn period right now, which is some Capricorn season, which ruled by Saturn. So we got a lot of anger going on right now, a lot of aggression.
Yeah, a lot of
So
frustration. So I
yes,
mean, so you know, you can't just say that. You know, now you got to explain like how the fuck do we flip this
protection.
shit? Then,
Yeah,
like, yeah, like
we have to first of all we have to utilize our mind to actually make conscious decisions about what's good and what's not good for us, where to go and where not to go, and actually don't obviously don't fear because you're going to attract every situation that you're fearful of. So please don't fear, as it's not a scare tactic for anybody because the news, CNN, everyone telling you all kinds of news that's going on. So from me, my advice to you guys is to utilize your mind and think only positive thoughts. Everywhere you go, be conscious about what you do and the decisions that you make, and utilize your protection energy. Make sure you're covered spiritually, your guides is covering you, and the universe is going to always cover you. Make sure that you're making the decisions on your spiritual growth and actually manifesting things that's powerful and conducive to this time that we're in now. Uh, Instead of manifesting $1 million or a car, a dream car, right now is probably an opportune time for you to manifest protection and covering and spiritual protection over your family, over your household, and just every your everyday life, at work, while your children are at school, because this is a very confusing and frustrating time that we're in. So please, please, please utilize your manifestation to benefit this time right now. just this time.
So, in terms of in terms of you utilizing that the new moon,
Mhm.
uh, how is it that how is it done in a way to where what's happening now? You feel me? Like, cause I hear what you're saying in terms of the manifestations. It confuses me a little bit though, and here's why. It's like we talking about protection. Like we have to manifest protection. But it would seem like that's like operating at like you are you know what I'm saying, operating out of fear,
Mhm.
at a basis that something will happen. So it's like if you're manifesting the if you're manifesting the protection,
Mhm.
wouldn't that mean that your mind is positioned in the negativity?
That's a good question. I thank you for asking that actually. So we have to understand everything, the forces in life, the dark forces in life, everything that could go wrong, that will go wrong. We have to understand that. I think Bruce Lee
Right.
said something amazing like expect the things, play with the negative, play with the things that could happen, entertain some things that could have, because oftentimes we tell each other that we don't know, we don't like, for instance, in church, they always say don't read Revelations, and they always scare away from the book of Revelations because it prophesies about what's to come. So it's obvious. Those things are pretty obvious in the universe. Death. We have all kinds of things that's going on in this world. We have earthquake. We have natural disasters. We have death. We have school shootings. We have all these things. So, since we know this and we're consciously aware of these things, we're just basically saying we know that anything can happen at any given time as human beings. We're not thinking on it, we're not dwelling on it because what I'm saying is negative. If you're thinking negative, you're dwelling on something, you're thinking of something, you're thinking conscientiously about things constantly, and that's
Mm-hmm.
basically attracting a situation. So, this is on a contrast, it's actually saying whatever whatever arrows are thrown at me or coming my way, I'm going to transmute those things to positive things. So all the things that could possibly happen to me, I know, but I want to transmute those arrows to positive situations, and that is where protection rituals come from. It's just basically transmuting anything that could possibly come your way into positive situations, because we know you can, I don't know, drive kid to school and hit a pothole that'll mess up your whole car. I mean, anything. So basically, just using protection and utilizing those rituals to transmute those arrows into positive situations.
Got you. Okay, and then the chat has helped clearing it up as well. I think the analogy that has been used is insurance, right? Like you drive your car, or why it's like wearing your seatbelt,
I
right?
love
You want
that. I
sure,
love that. That is a great
yeah.
analogy. Who said that? Shout out to her.
Aaliyah Don the Ascendant. Aaliyah Don the
Aaliyah, I
Ascendant.
love that, Aaliyah. You're amazing for that. Thank you for helping me out with that. That is
Melvin,
amazing.
I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna let you know when we do the next natal chart readings. If you're trying to get read, you know how we get it in. But I think the best way to think about it is like shit. You wear a seatbelt not because you think you're gonna get into an accident,
Just to
but so
protect
you're
yourself.
prepared for if an accident happens.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
like if you live somewhere where you feel like people can't drive worth the shit, you wear your seatbelt a lot. Not
Exactly.
because again you think
Yeah.
you gonna do something, but
Yeah.
because one of these motherfuckers is more likely. So let me be prepared for they non-driving
Absolutely.
ass.
Absolutely. Big up
Um,
to Leah. Like that is the perfect analogy for that insurance. To insure yourself, that is protection as far as insuring yourself that no matter what, you never, I haven't used my insurance in years, but I know it's there when I need it.
Cause they're gonna tax your I know you be tapping people's shit, but you just, you know what I mean? Like, all right, if it ain't, we don't need to call nobody. We don't need to call nobody. Uh,
That's supposed to be the California traffic.
Oh yeah, nah, they don't give a fuck out here. Actually, somebody like the parking so bad that like we only got one parking spot, so I'll have to park like around the street. Somebody hit my shit, like my door, and it was just no, there was no way to find it. They didn't leave a note. It was nothing. Somebody just hit my
Wow,
shit and just left it
that's
at that.
crazy.
That's the universe for your ass though. Shit.
Yeah, yeah,
But
and that's why you had insurance, right? Because it. I
oh
mean,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I guess, for
Well,
this in
nah,
this
with that
aspect,
I was cool. With that,
yeah.
it wasn't worth the premium.
I
Yeah.
guess, yeah, okay, I see that. I guess in this aspect of spiritual stuff, is there an invisible shield that's covering you in case anything happened? I said it, like I said, in these times, it's like, very tumultuous times to not be protected. This is the time to actually ask for, like I said, transmute your mind right now to think of protection. I know you want to manifest things, but just, yeah, just for the month of January. Obviously you could still manifest things on the personal level, but on
Yeah, you
this
can walk and
level,
chew gum at the same time. You feel
it's
me?
thank you.
You can
Exactly.
manifest multiple things. Yeah, like you
Yes,
gotta,
yes,
but
yes.
shit, you gotta have like the energy, the positivity, the vibe. You gotta be on the right
Yeah.
vibration for that shit to pop off.
Yeah. Keep living your life the way you live your life, but knowing that you're protected, and also keep throwing it out there. Knowing that you're protected will actually give you a release and a calmness about things, because you say, hey, I give all my burdens to the universe. I no longer carry this burden with me. And you go free of everything that can actually hinder you from doing things and living your life. So say, hey, I know I'm protected. Throw it out there and go live your life. Just don't dwell on whether or not you're protected or whether or not you did it right. Just know you are, think positive, and move on with your life. By moving on, keep yourself busy, keep yourself positive, keep your mantras going on, keep all the tools and methods that you utilize to constantly manifest the life that you desire. And I named a few. If you want to go back and check this podcast out, I named a few of those techniques that you can utilize to manifest things and actual like I said, look up those protection and ways to rituals, protection rituals. I follow a lot of people on IG that has a lot of great rituals that they utilize. There's no wrong or right ritual. It just makes
You gotta
sure
get the
that
shit to work
it's,
for you.
yeah, make sure it works for you and make sure it resonate
Make
with
sure it
you
work
and your
for
path.
your
Yeah,
ass.
yeah. So
Yeah.
go for it.
Yeah, man. Well, we've been rocking out for about an hour now.
Mhm.
Reaching that spot. Uh, Listen, the reason why we bring this information is because people be wondering, like, yo, why is shit moving like this? Like, why shit feel a certain type of way?
Yeah.
And if we could start to kind of bridge our confusion with an understanding, so we could actually utilize that energy in more productive ways,
Mhm.
it's a lot we can get from that. It's a
Mhm.
whole lot we can get from that. And so, yeah, y'all can continue to check us out at the Chop Up Show on YouTube, at the Chop Up Show on Facebook. You can find me at the Political Plug on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of that. We're gonna get Tisha on TikTok too. That's the plan.
I got to get
Um,
on there. Yes.
yeah, yeah, we gonna get it right. And then you can find her at, and I'm gonna get it right, Infinite Omniscience.
There you go. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I be saying
Uh,
infinite omniscience like a motherfucker. Um, Infinite omniscience at on Instagram.
mhm,
Y'all make sure y'all check
absolutely.
her out if you do want to get that natal chart reading. If you do want the deep shit where she get into the houses and all that shit too. I ain't gotten all my houses and shit yet.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Um,
deep, deep, deep,
but if you
deep
need
stuff.
them conversations, if you need life coaching, at Infinite Omniscience. You know what I'm saying? At Instagram, on Instagram.
Mhm.
I don't give life coaching. I just be talking about like shit y'all probably don't care about. Uh,
Yes, yes, yes.
but if y'all want to stay caught up on the political shit, y'all can find me at the Political Plug. But another wonderful show, another great conversation, and more knowledge.
Absolutely.
Niggas is
Absolutely.
learning shit that they be trying to that they don't let niggas learn. And I don't mean when I say they, I'm not talking about like spooky white people either. I'm talking about nah, nigga don't believe that shit.
Yeah,
That type of shit.
absolutely. And I'm
So
telling you
it's
guys, The planets, the universe is speaking to us every day. Every day it utilizes its forces, its invisible forces to change us, and every time it's conducive to our growth. We have to pay attention to it. Whether or not you pay attention, you have people that will teach you these things, and I'm one of those people. And also, some cool things to check out. Some cool books to check out. Like I mentioned, The Secret. It's a good starting point on actually transmitting your thought and learning how the power of manifestation and how to do so as well. It's a good guide for you, and also a great book. Oh my God, this is the most powerful book of all books to me. It's called The Wisest Book Ever Written by Florence Scovel Shinn, and that book was, man, that book is probably the most powerful book in the entire world to me, and it's definitely the wisest book ever written to me. It teaches you about manifestation and also teaches you about a number of other universal laws that we literally do not pay attention to, but we should. So get that book. And there's also another book called The 11 Forgotten Laws, and it also is like the universal laws that no one talks about as well. um and it's unheard of. It talks about the law of karma, or the law of cause and effect, which is something like karma, and all kinds of other universal laws that we do not talk about. People do
And we're
not
gonna get into
abide
them.
by.
And we're gonna get
Yes,
into them
we
too.
definitely
We got a
will.
long list of shit that we're gonna talk about with y'all,
We
but
definitely have a
we're just
lot.
getting started.
So those are great books, and I'll talk about power from manifestation. So if you really want to really think about transmuting your mind, those are great starting points. Very great starting points.
Hey, and we definitely gonna have more for y'all. Y'all make sure y'all tune in next Tuesday. Right here, either on YouTube or on Facebook at the Over 30 Podcast. Everybody that was be able to be a part of the show. Aaliyah, Melvin, thank y'all for joining. Everybody else that came and went, we appreciate y'all, and we out.
Yeah.